Hi everyone, my name is Jasmine Gary, and today I want to discuss with you on the topic, how does social media determine what we judge as important? I must say, this was a very fun experience for myself because I was able to learn so many different aspects of how social media really does affect our daily lives. And it was not just from like celebrities and stuff like that, it was from like average people like me. And it's finally good to see someone on the same page as I am. But I did gather some very good information. I want to share it all with you today, and I definitely want your feedback. Um, one one source that I want to give you is from this website called thehill.com. William Armstrong is the author of this article, and his topic of discussion is why do the media determine what's important? Why is that? What is your thoughts on that? I mean, I know I have my thoughts because that's why I'm presenting to you, but what are your thoughts on that? I do want your feedback on that. One point that I do want to point out to you from the article from reading is he stated, we focus on things that are meaningless and completely ignore the things that will determine our valuability in the future. This is the very kind of thing that Jesus railed against in the Bible. I guess it's not too surprising that we are acting like the Pharisees, since we, like they, are intent on ignoring all things spiritual. Hopefully, at some point, we can regain a sense of what is important and empower the populace with the necessary tools to change the dangerous course we're on. We can we can derive that sense of importance from facts and not from what is said to us by what is rapidly becoming a completely disoriented and unprincipled media. Let's piggyback off of the first line that I told you and the last line. First, I'm going to start with the last line since it's fresh in your memory. What is rapidly becoming a completely disoriented, unprincipled media. I have to say I 100% agree with this statement. Think about it, guys. If you turn on the TV today, what do you see? You see profanity. You see sexual activity on TV. You see same-sex kissing. You see a lot of things that 10, 15 years ago you never saw, or it was around, but it wasn't as prominent as it is now. Is the media making you feel like, hey, this is okay? Go with it. It's okay. Don't feel like it's not normal. Does the media make you feel that way? Does the media try to enforce and force you to believe in something that you weren't too sure about before? Does the media do that to you? For me, it seems like the media is trying to force on me their opinion versus letting me voice my own. That is when we have completely gotten off farm. From doing my research and everything, I came to gather that over the last 500 years, the influence of mass media has grown exponentially with the advance of technology. Yes, this is so true. First, we have books. Then we had the newspapers. Then we had the magazines. Then it was photography. Then it was films, radio, television. Now the new media is internet and social media. What's social media? Social media is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, things like that. The internet. When you get on the internet, I'm telling you, you can find just about any and every thing. There is no censor on the internet. And I have little ones, so now I have to monitor what they do when they get on the internet or when they play games on the phone. And even today's cartoons, they're not child friendly anymore. I mean, the movies, the shows, none of it. You really have to censor everything you allow your children to watch, because just like the media influences you, it influences them as well. Today, just about everyone depends on information and communication to keep their lives moving through daily activities like work. You use media during work, education, you use media there, healthcare, leisure activities, entertainment, traveling, relationships, all of that stuff, media is involved. It's not unusual to wake up and check your cell phone and say, oh, who texted me, or where's my notifications for Instagram, or whatever the case may be. Look at the TV and the newspaper at the news. I must say, the news can be dramatic. I mean, some things, they're very important. A lot of things the news does talk about is very, very important. But at the same time, sometimes they can make things a little bit more dramatic than what they are. And it can make you paranoid to even leave your home sometimes. Take your children to school, lay them down at night for rest. I mean, all of that. It can make you a little paranoid and on edge. I have to compare this to my psychology assignment that I recently had to do. He asked us to think about the TV show SVU, Special Victims Unit for Law and Order. I watched that and I really enjoyed that show, but there has to be at some point in time where you know when to cut that off. because if you watch too much of it, it can make you, like I said before, paranoid. It can make you think like, something like that. And I mean, me personally, I love watching ID. I love watching Who Did I Marry, things like that. Fear Thy Neighbor. I mean, all of that stuff is very intriguing, but I have to have that censor on when to cut it off, because sometimes it can, consume me, and that's the last thing I want to do, especially since I'm setting an example for my children. Um, I do want to ask you guys a really interesting question. What do you use media for? Do you go to the store and you see media around you? Do you go to the mall and media is there? Is media part of your daily life? Have you, in the last 2 years, have you had any day that you can recall where media was not involved? Do you feel like technology is somewhat taking over? Do you feel like we've gotten away from what's important and we rely on the media for any and everything now? Do you feel like that's going on currently? For me, I feel like it is. I feel like sometimes we don't see the importance of things anymore. I feel like we just kind of let things go and we say, hey, the media got it, and we'll just go with the flow, and we don't really have opinion anymore. We don't have a sense of what we agree with anymore, and it's getting a little bit out of hand. um it's important for us to have our own sense of judgment and opinion, and it's very important. But again, it is all based on the person and what they allow to go in and out of their minds. Again, my name is Jasmine Gary, and I just presented to you about how social media does influence what we judge as important. Again, this was my opinion. It's not anything stated. It's not anything factual, but it is my opinion, and I do feel like it has a negative impact. If you have any questions or concerns, please give me your feedback. I'm open to all of them. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm going to give you any facts that I did find during my research. If I don't know, I am going to tell you, but please, feedback is always welcome. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening, and thank you for being a participant.